What's up, guys? My name is Mitchell here in beautiful Perry, Utah, outside of Pronghorn Bicycles, and today we are packed, man. We've been really busy, but today we're going to be doing a review of the Cyrusher Kommoda. Let me just say, this is my honest review, my honest thoughts and opinions. They may not reflect the opinions of everyone else in the company, but let's get into it. So recently I made a video comparing the Cyrusher Kommoda to the Aventon Aventure, but what I didn't do is give the Cyrusher Kommoda its own review, which is a shame because there really is a lot to talk about with this bike. This bike is a fat tire e-bike through and through. It's built for off-roading, but it does come with 4-inch by 20-inch fat tires, which is a little bit different than you'd see on most other fat tire e-bikes. What that means is that these smaller tires are going to give you a greater ability to maneuver. This bike is more nimble, it's easy to bob and weave on, but that does come with a cost, which is that you can't run over large objects as easily. You have to be mindful of running over larger rocks or smaller children. Now, this bike also comes with a 750 watt motor accompanied by a torque sensor. What that means is it's got a good amount of power. It's going to get you up pretty much any hill, but it's not going to blow your mind with the power. You're not going to be able to run over, again, large objects. But with that torque sensor on there, it is going to significantly affect the acceleration on this bike. This is not going to take you from 0 to 20 in 2 seconds. If you're a younger person looking for crazy acceleration, this may not be the bike for you, but if you're somebody who's a little bit older and looking for a more casual e-bike, this acceleration is fine. It's actually a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more predictable. And that torque sensor is going to make your pedaling smoother too. If you're pushing harder or lighter, it's going to tell that to the motor so that the motor can give you an adequate amount of power, so it's more natural, kind of like you'd feel on a regular bike. As far as the battery goes with this bike, they claim that it has a 25 to 50 mile range, which is pretty average. It's nothing mind-blowing, but for the casual rider, this should end up being plenty. Now, as far as the suspension goes on this bike, it's got both front and rear suspension, which is mind-blowing given the price tag. Now, if I'm being honest, the suspension on this bike, both front and back, is just good. But again, to get both front and rear suspension with this low price tag is pretty mind-blowing. And in my time riding this bike, I could definitely feel the suspension. I still felt the bumps I was running over. It didn't completely cancel them out, but it definitely helped to alleviate and minimize a lot of that. And part of that really could be the seat. The seat on this bike is good, but I wouldn't call it great. I've definitely felt softer, and if you're somebody with a sensitive back, you might want to swap this out for an extra cushiony seat to help alleviate any stress on your back. One thing that I love about the Kommoda is that it comes with both front and rear fenders. On top of that, it comes with this rear rack, which is actually a really high quality rack. It's got a lot of surface area. You could probably throw a whole cooler on the back, and it's all metal. It's not gonna break. It's highly durable, and it's kind of crazy that this just comes with the bike. As far as tech goes, the display on this bike works well. It's pretty. And this bike comes with a front light and a rear brake light, which is a nice little touch if you're going to do any riding, maybe around the city. And the Zoom brakes on this bike, they are hydraulic brakes. They've got a lot of stopping power and they're good quality, but I have noticed that they can be a little bit more temperamental when you're building this bike than brakes on other bikes. But overall, I have to give this bike a great review. The quality on this bike, everything is at least good. There are great parts, there are good parts, but for the price tag of $16.99, this is a great entry-level casual e-bike. It does so many things and it does them well, which is mind-blowing. I mean, try to find another e-bike with full suspension for under $1,700. There are very few out there. This is a really good deal for what it is, and I highly recommend that you come and test ride a Kommoda. Actually, riding this bike, the top speed is 26 miles an hour, which feels plenty fast with these smaller tires, and it feels so nimble and easy to, as I mentioned, bob and weave around on this thing. I actually really enjoy this bike, and I would recommend it to anybody who's looking for a smaller alternative to a bike like the Aventon Aventure. And let me just give a big thank you to you guys for watching and to Cyrusher for doing business with us. We love you guys. You make good quality products. If you guys are looking for a Kommoda or any other e-bike, make sure to give us a call at 435-230-3775. I'll do my best to take care of you. Just ask for Mitchell. I'll hook it up as much as I can for you guys. Yeah, thank you guys.